last broadcast, I totally forgot that my microphone was not plugged in. So here we are, about to do this again. so, I'm broadcasting because I had to rebuild my camp, and then this is what I came up with. I mistakenly I was scouting out possible places for a new camp, even though I was happy with the layout and the design of my previous camp. So I screwed up because I accidentally moved my camp by pressing the wrong button, which caused my previous camp to be stored. Thankfully, it kept my blueprint, but still, it was essentially this same pyramid. It looks a little different now, which I'll explain in a minute, but this is a huge footprint, and this game does not like it if you store something that has a huge footprint, because the terrain is so uneven throughout everywhere on this map that it pretty much tells you that you can't place it just about 90% of the time, 95% of the time, unless you have like one or two squares. It's just going to shut you down. So I was pretty much assuming that I was going to have to rebuild this entire pyramid again, and I was a little distraught about it because it took me a long time to make it. And I was real happy with the original design, and I really didn't want to spend like another day or two trying to reconstruct it if I could avoid it. But I figured, being that I accidentally moved my camp, maybe it was time to move it someplace new. Which previously, where my camp was set up, it was kind of cool, and it had a lead extractor, which was useful, but it was not nearly as scenic as this. And this spot is awesome. I scouted out about four places I was thinking about moving to, but then I figured I would check out this place last, which is at the very north of the map, right by the crosshair. But as you can see, it's one of maybe the best views in the game. And nobody ever really seems to build their camps up here either, because nobody likes to go to the very northwest corner of the map, especially to like the edge of the forest region. But either way, I came up here and I saw this nice cliff, and this is about as far north as you can build on the map. There literally is just like only a small amount of space up on that cliff up there where you can place your camp if you so desire. But this is what I settled on. I just figured it was a cool spot for my pyramid. So let me put my power armor back on. I have to do that because this is a low-level character. It's not my main character, but, you know, she's pretty cool. And I'm going to put my power armor on and see if I can get, like, a nice scenic view. Oh, what am I doing?
I was going to retire to a cabin in the woods.
There's the old man that hangs out at my camp. Creepy old man. Yeah, so I figured I'd open up these garage doors. And let's try this again. So, let's put on this power armor. Maybe I can get a jetpack aerial view of what we're dealing with here. Yeah, alright, so my action points aren't great with this character. But, so, anyways, getting back to how I was able to place this camp, like I scouted out this build area. I had a lot of flat, well, relatively flat. I mean, it's kind of on a hill, but I mean, it was enough space where I knew I could rebuild this pyramid if I had to rebuild it manually. Because where I was at before with this pyramid wasn't a flat area either, so I knew I could do it. And I thought it was cool because it has this nice kind of rock wall that surrounds this area. And my intention was not to build all the way to the edge, like build the pyramid all the way out onto the edge of the cliff like that. But I had, thankfully, you know, the game had blueprinted my plan of the structure, and I was using it to try to gauge where I was going to have to start building at and kind of by accident, I scrolled past a place where it turned blue or green, let me know I might be able to place it, but then it disappeared super quick. So I really had to like give it a few goes to see if I could get this to place. And eventually I found a spot where it was staying. It was totally green. It was going to let me place this camp, and I was just kind of shell-shocked by it. I was amazed that it was going to let me do it. So I took advantage of it and placed it where it said it was going to allow me to place my camp, which is not exactly where I would have built it. It wound up putting it like right on the edge of the build area, which caused me to have to make this corner funky, where I couldn't continue the stairs or the sloped concrete platforms. So that's why, it's a little funky. Not much I could do about it, but ultimately it saved me hours and hours and hours of build time by being able to just drop it right here. And it actually, I kind of prefer it now because originally these were stairs. I switched them to the sloped concrete pieces because it just looked a little nicer than stairs just going to nothing, to your death. Doom. But I really like this because it's like right on the edge, and
Respect isn't that
it looks
hard
pretty
to
epic.
come
I do want to say I would like to. I really want to put a trap to fling people. I would love to see if I can place a trap. I don't know where if I'll be able to put it. I haven't placed these before, but somehow I would like to figure out how I can put one of these traps to, fly off the cliff. It might have to just be over here. It's probably going to have to go right here. I don't have the skill set to build it with this character yet, so next time I level up, I'm just going to get that home defense perk card so I can actually build the trap, and then, man, it'll just be fun to just see if it'll fling you off the cliff like that. It'd be pretty cool if you can do that. I haven't actually really tried those traps before. They used to be more common in the game, but people don't really seem to use them that much anymore. Either way, I was able to put the camp down. I made some changes to it. It used to have some extra steel walls that like kind of surrounded these corner pieces. And I had vendors on the corners in my previous camp. I did away with those, and I put them in my garage back there, which I'll show you in a minute. But now I have these kind of epic, elegant lion statues, which I have to admit, I never really had a use for the statues before, but they look great.
And again, maybe it's
here.
just
And previously, I did have the Red Rocket garage as well, but it was like awkwardly placed to the side of my other camp, and it was a little, I don't know if it really looked all that great. I feel like this, stupid glitchy garage door. I feel like this placement I like a lot better. Because obviously you can walk right into it. It doesn't look totally like you don't have like the concrete hanging off a rock ledge or anything, kind of like it was with my last place. I got my water right here, and then now I moved my vendors in here, and it just looks a little bit more consistent. I need to put my weapons up on the weapon rack. I haven't done that yet. Yeah, and I don't know. I didn't really know what to do with this door because it was a weird placement. So rather than making it like a usable door, put the Nuka Cola girl with disco lights. So actually, a little bit of pizzazz for you. Yeah, and then I had the Raider Collectron, but he wound up actually getting a little annoying. So I switched into the Gold Bot. It just looks a little bit nicer, I feel, with the pyramid setup than the Raider bot did. And then keeping with the Red Rocket theme, I got my power armor work thing right there. Whatever, I can't talk right now, but yeah, pretty happy with how the pyramid turned out. Now, let's go inside. Let's see if I can show you a little about what's going on. Yeah, but yeah, obviously when it gets dark out, it starts really looking kind of cool.
I should write about her sometime.
Also, kind of keeping with the theme of what I got going on with this camp, we got the good old rocket ride up here on top. Previously, this was in my garage, but I figured, well, why not put it on the roof? I really wish you could move the camera when your character's riding this ride, but, you know, it is what it is. So let's go inside. You know, I had obviously like uber Nuka-Cola theme going on with this, and I toned it down just a little bit by mainly just like removing all the Nuka-Cola wallpaper because it was almost just like overkill. But I still kept the Nuka theme. I previously was running around in my Nuka-Cola Rocket Girl outfit for this girl, my character, but I switched her over to this because after they came out with the shelters, I was able to make the underside, the under portion of the pyramid. I made a tomb, if you will, which we'll get to in a minute, but I have a nice little area down here for my crops. They stay protected. I don't have, the floors that you can grow stuff in with this character, so that works as well. It's easy. But yeah, this is, a little bedroom, Nuka-Cola light. Seems like that's actually working again, so.
Life! That's what the world needs.
In the future, people don't take showers. They just let robot arms touch them in weird places. This is how you know it's a bathroom, is because there's artwork hanging up. That's how you know. Of course, she's got the rocket race car bed. So let's go. Oh yeah, and then you can play Space Invaders. Galaga. I think that's actually what Galaga ship, if I'm remembering correctly. Either way, fun use of the light boxes. But yeah, I figured if I'm gonna have a pyramid, I might as well have a tomb within the pyramid. So here we are. So this is walking into the underside of the pyramid. And I gotta admit, like, at first I really didn't know what to do with these shelters, but now I kind of appreciate them because you can get pretty creative with them as far as just doing stuff visually. So I should have probably get this started. And this is the only thing is, like, it resets every time you enter, which I don't like any of the environmental effects reset. But yeah, this is walking in through the tomb where it's all spooky. You got the coffins with the urns. Don't tell me how it'd be possible to burn this much stuff in an enclosed tomb without totally dying and suffocating, but I'm doing it. And that's probably why that could be why there's a lot of skulls in here, is because people fucking died from smoke inhalation. I really love the Kirby busts or masks that you can hang. I like that they finally released something cool like that. I wish they would make some more stuff like the same theme, possibly larger ones to use, but hopefully we'll see what happens in the future. Walking in past, the tunnel, we're going to the inner sanctum. So this was the lobby. A lot of people wanted to use like the vault atrium. I didn't want to pay for that. So this is the lobby. technically it's been transformed into the Temple of the Damned. Now we may open. Apparently, the Temple of the Damned is clearly for communists. But this is what used to be the lobby. And this, I feel like, is pretty epic interior to the pyramid up top. Yeah, and after I made this is why I changed the outfit for my character, because I felt like I definitely needed something that was more appropriate for sitting in a throne like this. So check that out. I feel like that's pretty epic. Definitely had to go with the Greylock throne rather than the Grognak. The Grelic throne. I don't know how you pronounce that. Grelic. I'm just going to say it's Grelic. Either way, it looks a little bit more insidious, but also kind of regal, you know, with the gold and the red. Yeah, we got to activate these cauldrons. Got to make sure everything's correct. You know, got plenty of bones. It's the one spot where I didn't try to cover up the roof, because covering the roof was probably the worst part about making this whole room in here. And this wall up here was previously kind of not a whole lot going on. This is part of the reason why I hope Bethesda comes out with some larger Kirby masks, so I could more effectively fill that kind of negative space up there on that wall. But for now, that's what we got until they come up with something better. But this is the Temple of the Damned with all the cool kind of Mothman statues. This is way beyond Mothman. Fuck the Mothman called this shit. This is some real shit right here. So walking in underneath the throne, this is going into the tomb, clearly for communists again. But and we gotta make sure to get the smoke effect going on. But yeah, this is the throne room in the center of the temple, or the tomb underneath. It's not the throne room, this is the tomb. This is the actual tomb room, the royal tomb room under the pyramid. And so, yeah, that's what you get. You didn't expect Candy Mr. Fuzzy when you opened up that sarcophagus, did you? But I think it turned out really well. I used the wood walls and put TVs and lighting behind the wood, which is cool because it, like, all the light creeps through the slats. And previously, I would never use these wood walls because they look really janky normally. But they worked out really well for the hallway, of the tomb hallway leading up into the temple, and then of course for this this room right here, because this all just was like a vault room. You know, you can kind of still see where I couldn't cover the vault doorway there, but you know, I did my best, and I feel like the communist doors kind of almost give it that like creepy Indiana Jones feeling. So, and I got one final surprise here. Boo! Like, for anybody who thinks I take myself too seriously, that's what that's all about. But yeah, I feel like this room turned out pretty good. This was a lot of work to get both the hallway to this room and the entrance, the utility entrance or whatever it's called, and this looking the way that they do. And I was super scared that when I moved my camp I was going to lose my shelter, but thankfully I did not. So, and I got this one place right here for, oh yeah, this is where you can repair everything. Looks a little out of place, so that's why I covered it with the door. But yeah, you know, all in all, was pretty happy with how this all turned out. And so I guess that's my new camp. I did a previous video where I'm gonna have to delete that, you know, because it was probably it wasn't quite as long, and I didn't explore the pyramid quite as well, and plus I wasn't using my microphone, so you couldn't hear my sexy voice. But yeah, that's my other character right there, posing in front of all of his guns. He's gonna have to get another. I haven't even built his shelter yet, so I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm doing for that, because he's gangsta. But yeah. So, pretty happy overall with how this all turned out, and the fact that I didn't have to totally rebuild the entire camp. I got kind of lucky with that, because otherwise, man, I'd still be building right now. I sure as shit wouldn't be making this video. I guess to end this video, we'll do one final kind of scenic view. Oh, let's just put it out and collect it, because that's what I'm going to do. That's what I like to do for fun. It's just act like I'm going to get my power armor and then not. But it did up kind of custom power armor set with a hodgepodge of different pieces. But, you know, she's a Nuka-Cola girl and she's punk rock. And I didn't want to just do a piece of, you know, a set of power armor that anybody can just put together. Like, it took some time to figure out what kind of style she was going to have for that. But yeah, I like this little cliff up here. I kind of wanted to include this in my build area, but there was no way for me to do it if I was going to be close to the cliff, and it wasn't really practical, because this is about as far up as you can go. Like, you can't really go very far past that cliff up here. When's it going to tell me I'm going to stop? Yep, there we go, right there. So technically, I could have built the pyramid up here. It's more flat. It would have been cool, you know. Could have been right up there, but I was concerned about being right at the edge of the map, and I don't know. I feel like the view down there is actually just a little bit better, because you don't have like this ground right, like, you know, right here. You don't. It's a further drop down to the ground. You got a kind of a slightly better view out there. I don't know. If I get bored, I could build the pyramid up here, but I'm pretty happy with where it is down there. And plus, standing up here, I get this nice scenic view of the back side of the pyramid structure. And see all the rock walls and everything. Yeah. I feel like I made the right choice building the pyramid out there on the edge of that cliff rather than up at the very top of the tippy top of the map. But that's all I got for you now today, ladies and germs. I will say, a lot of people really dislike this game, but it's been a pretty cool game now that they've kind of made a lot of the changes to it that they've made. It still is easily the most problematic, buggy game I think I've ever played in my life, but I still like it. And yeah, look at this view. This is what I'm talking about. This is cool. This is so much better than the view that I have for my last camp placement, because it was kind of down in the, I'll show you, it was down here. Yeah, it was on a lead deposit right here, so it kind of overlooked White Springs, but you couldn't really see White Springs from where it was at. There's all the trees, and yes, I'm in America. Sorry, I didn't see that you were typing previously, but yes, I'm in America. And thank you for checking out my stream. This is it's a cool spot for this camp. I love it, and I'm gonna have to. Hello. Yeah, even though I don't have a whole lot of resources, like access to water and anything to mine or any deposits, what I do have is the crosshair right here. It was actually there's at least some stuff down there and some people to kill. So all in all, pretty happy with this camp. Alright, well now if you're gonna watch my my stream, I'll show you what we got going on real quick inside. So this is what's inside the temple. I'm just gonna kind of walk through here. Let me out of my power armor. I so wish the smoke machines would just stay running. Every time you walk in, they reset. But yeah, there we go. That's the effect I was looking for. It's the spooky tomb. Oh, and they got bored. They didn't care about seeing my spooky tomb. They left the broadcast. Well, that's cool. Already, so I think I'm about to dip out. And, oh yeah, and there's Golem making an appearance. I forgot. At some point I'll need to do a broadcast with Golem character because I actually have a ring for Golem. I'm waiting on them to make the cave shelter. They're supposed to make a cave shelter, and once they do, Golem's getting a shelter so he can live in a cave underneath the mountain with his ring. So, but I'm just gonna leave it here. I'll catch you all on the flip side.